everybody.
Morning.
I'm delighted that you've been able to join us this morning, and the weather's not quite as bad as it was forecast to be, although it could be quite bad later. My name's Ted Westhoughton. I'm the chair of the Westhoughton Local History Group, and welcome to the launch of our latest exhibition. In particular, I'd like to welcome the Mayor of Westhoughton, Linda Winrow Baker, former Councillor George Twist, and our current Councillor David Chadwick. Also our MP Chris Green, because this is probably the first contact with Westhoughton Local History Group. Had the Overspill plans gone ahead and the lecture been very different, you might not have been standing with us this morning. The exhibition has been masterminded by Garth Radcliffe here, with the help of other members of the Westhoughton History Group research team. And I think it would be more appropriate for me to hand over to Garth and ask him to tell you something about the exhibition. Garth.
Morning everybody. My name's Garth Ratcliffe. This is the fourth exhibition that the Local History Group has launched, if that's the right word. I need to explain what's different about this compared with the previous three. Our first exhibition was about the Pretoria pit disaster in 2010, and that was very well received. That was in 2010, that was the centenary. Our next exhibition was the burning of the mill, the bicentenary of the burning of the mill in 1812. Again, that was very well received. Now, last year, we commemorated the Westhoughton men who were killed in World War I, 2014. So that was the 1914. That was the centenary event of that tragedy. So our previous events have been commemoration of disasters, but this is different because it's about a success story. About 50 years ago, there were concerted attempts by Manchester City Corporation to move Overspill from Manchester to Westhoughton. Now this involved compulsory purchasing 60% of the land in Westhoughton, compulsory purchasing 9,000 houses, and moving the centre of Westhoughton, Market Street, down to beyond the railway line at Daisy Hill, relocating the centre of Westhoughton. And what we got in return would be 12,300 council houses and 42,000 people. So Westhoughton would move from a population of 15,000 up to about 72,000 in 1981. Obviously people were not pleased about that suggestion, and it led to a public inquiry in 1965, held in this Carnegie Hall behind us. And there were something like 1,200 residents of Westhoughton submitted objections, and many of those people turned up to this public inquiry. And the good news is that the Westhoughton residents and businesses and farmers, they won the day. And in October 1966, Manchester withdrew their interest. But that meant Westhoughton was back to square one, having to redevelop initially under Lancashire. But in and that was conducted through the so-called master plan for Westhoughton, which showed where residential private estates could be built and new roads could be built. That master plan was taken over by Bolton in 1974, and that is the plan that's been delivered. So that estates like the Hoskers, Park Road, etc., they've been built under that plan. But unfortunately, some builders wish to go outside the plan, and even now Westhoughton is under threat from proposed building on Boland's Hay, which is near Dobbrow and the golf course, and Lee Hall, which is to the east of Park Road. So those are current threats, and we have to thank the SWAN, Save Westhoughton Act Now people, and Councillor David Chadwick, he was the chairman of that group, for fighting the case to prevent this unnecessary development. And again, Ruth was involved with that group as well. So Westhoughton people won 2 public inquiries and saved Westhoughton from being either overdeveloped or being full of council houses. But we have remaining problems. That's the immense congestion on roads. Park Road, Lee Road, Wigan Road, they're highly congested because the roads that were planned or stipulated under the map haven't been delivered. So that is the next big hurdle that I think is holding Westhoughton back. So just to point you in the right direction, the first section of the exhibition, the sort of orange or tangerine tinged boards, that's about the overspill. The far end, the green ones, that's about the situation, the development of Westhoughton from 1972 onward. Behind these boards, there are a lot of newspaper cuttings of events at the time leading up to the overspill situation, and the cuttings that have come from the Horwich and Westhoughton Journal. At the far end, sure you'll find those aerial photographs of Westhoughton in the 1950s, and those have been organised by Pam Clark, our president, who isn't able to be here today. But you can have a look at where your house is on those aerial photographs. To the right, we've got some aerial photographs and some plans of the Hoskers and other estates in Westhoughton, as well as the up-to-date 2005, 2000 plans for the development of Westhoughton. Over here, I've actually got a report. This is a report of the proceedings of the public inquiry in 1965 that was held next door. We've also got more newspaper cuttings if you can browse through, and there's a visitor's book here that you can make comments if you wish. Finally, over here we've got some publications for sale. We have booklets about the Pretoria, about the World War I, and about the burning of the mill. So you can see that Westhoughton is a very, very historic locality. We've got these publications that are only £1 a time, but the World War I one is more expensive. We've got some videos there, and I think a few Christmas cards left. One. So we might make that into a prize. Over there, we have another very extremely valuable feature of Westhoughton, Wingate's band, and David has put up a display that celebrates the 100 years of recording of Wingate's band. And again, he's got for sale a CD of the band music and a booklet describing the events of that period. Have I missed anybody out? I think I have. Well, yeah. Refreshments. Linda has been invited to open this event, which we expected thousands, but I think they're waiting until the rain stops. Do you want to just say a word?
Just a couple of words.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Morning.
Very nice to be invited here today. As usual, the local history group do such a lot of work, and I do feel they keep the history of Westhoughton alive and kicking. But for the overspill, I might not have been here because I got one of the houses that they bought when it was turned down. So I'm thankful to that. A lot of people have put a lot of work into this, and I do hope lots of people come and see it. So thank you very much, and good luck.
Thank you.
After the official launch, there was an opportunity to look around the exhibition.